My background is in something called cranial sacral therapy. Nowadays, I don't do clinical work at all. I primarily work with lasers, develop lasers in different technology, and we do a seminar process called Stillpoint. Everyone go ahead, take a nice big breath in. And now relax and let go. Now take another nice big breath in. And now stop right at the top of the breath. And just kind of hold this place for a moment. Relax, don't hold the breath. Relax the breath. The breath will keep going like it does when you sleep. Yet stay in this space between the breath. In our seminars, we call this still point. In my life, I live most of my life here. Everyone take another big breath in and stop right here. Now right here, okay, don't hold the breath, relax, the breath will keep going. Yet if you stay right here, try something. Try to hold a thought or an emotion. Not so easy. This is what yogis do. This is the technology of yogis. It's not so complicated. Now try while you're resting here. While you're resting here, try holding an area of tension or pain in the body while you're resting here in neutrality. Not so easy. In other words, this space right here is a delete key. You rest here, it's like a magnet. You know, the magnet holds things. You flip the polarity neutral, all the metal filings drop. Your brain waves, if they're always going like this, thinking, you hold things. You go neutral. So what we're going to do, in my life, I spend a good portion of my life resting right here. A good day for me is when I'm resting here. You don't hold stuff. This particular one is called the Scalarwave Laser. This is the laser that Lily and I and our daughter Essentia, who's informed me, she used to be mentioned, developed. Low-level lasers for folks that are new here this evening. I'm just going to do a very brief intro. Once the laser is on, I like to tell people to start to do it over the stomach is a great place to start. You can also do it over an area of tension or pain. Lasers donate energy. Lasers donate photons into the cells. And for folks that are kind of watching medicine, lasers right now are very exciting. There are some really exciting things going on in lasers right now. I tell people, we're going to talk tonight. I want to just mention lasers in medicine are huge right now. We're going to talk about one little sliver of that medical laser pie called cold laser therapy, low-level laser therapy, which is what this technology is, okay? This laser, to give a little reference point, our lasers, Scalar Wave Laser, it's an FDA-cleared medical device. We're cleared by FDA as an over-the-counter medical device, which is unique. Many lasers currently in use right now, they're not over-the-counter. You need to be a doctor or get a prescription to use them. Our lasers, anybody can use our lasers. The basic principle of lasers, just to give you just a basic overview of what they do, the basic thing that lasers do is when you apply lasers over an area, a knee, an organ, back, a tooth, whatever the issue is, the key thing that the laser does is it donates photons. Donates photons. Why? What they found is that when you donate photons into the cell, that stimulates ATP in the cell, adenosine triphosphate, ATP, energy. They have found an increase when you laser different areas, an increase of ATP, of cellular energy by as much as 150%. Most professional sports teams have several lasers. I've sold lasers. This year we sold them to San Francisco 49ers. Sold lasers to Miami Heat, New York Giants. Many sports teams are using laser therapy. Why? For one key reason. If you have an injury, knee, shoulder, and you apply light, the light stimulates the ATP. Energy, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, fancy word for energy molecule. You increase energy. It's the same principle as a garden. You have garden, you plant it in sun. If the sun is delivering photons, fruits, vegetables grow bigger, healthier fruits, vegetables. That is the exact same principle that I use when I laser things. Our lasers use 3 different wavelengths. The first one we use is red. This is a red laser. You can see how far red lasers go into the body. They go about that far into the body. So what is that light doing? When red lasers go in, it's stimulating blood, oxygen, electrons, and ATP. You can turn those back on. Thank you very much. Again, red lasers, the benefit, now a lot of laser companies, they only make red, or other companies only make infrared. And we're unique. Those companies all argue. The red ones say they're the best, the infrared say theirs are the best. My view is they're different. For me, if I want to work on anything that far into the body, skin, muscle, nerve, soft tissue, meridians, anything that far into the body, I use red lasers. Skin, facial rejuvenation, red lasers work great. Infection, open wounds, red lasers work great. Pain, red lasers work great. Dental situations. The second wavelength that I work with is infrared. Infrared, to me, is really unique because it works much deeper into the body. This is an infrared laser. Infrared, unlike red, you can't see. Infrareds are not visible to the human eye. I put some violet light around it so you can see that it's on and it softens it up. Infrared, some cameras will see infrared. The benefit of infrared is really good for deeper seated stuff, bone, cartilage, disc. Say you have a knee injury or a challenge. Well, the cells in that area hold on to the information from the injury. Could be emotion, could be an injury, could be some kind of health situation, dis-ease. The new cells keep coming in, yet the old cell passes the information from old cell to new cell. So now the new cell in the shoulder or the knee acts and behaves like the old cell because it inherited the information of the injury. The reason I use lasers, every day for me, my view, I got challenges every day. Every day I jump in and say, okay, what am I going to dig on? What am I going to work on today? It's like a garden. This is like a garden. You know, if you had a garden, would you sit by and just let the weeds grow and say, well, we'll see what grows, you know? I want to dig in and see what can I do to change the physics of the situation. All karma is stuff you hold on to. Anything you hold, physical, emotional, cell memory, emotion, belief, judgment, anything you hold on to, guess what? The universe brings it to you again. You rest here, guess what you don't do? You don't hold things. Third wavelength that I use in our lasers. I covered so far red, infrared, and violet. The violet's the third wavelength that we use in our lasers. Most companies do not use violet lasers. I'm really into violet lasers because violet lasers, from my perspective, are really good for anti-aging, for longevity. They're particularly good for emotional situations. Anyone with emotional stress, any other stress, really good for people with bacterial issues, Lyme's disease. Violet light's antibacterial, really good for dental situations. It's really good for energy work and balancing out the energy in the field. It's very, very popular. People in our network that have this typically really use it a lot and like it a lot. Most companies don't make violet lasers. Our lasers are a little bit unique in that we use violet. Other companies don't use them because they're a lot more expensive. Violet lasers are a lot more expensive, hence companies don't use them. The only other company that makes a violet laser is $18,000, and theirs is less powerful than ours. Ours is a 100 milliwatt laser. That company makes a 20 milliwatt violet laser for $18,000. The reason Kairos and a lot of people are using violet lasers is because they're profoundly good for dealing with emotional stress. Kairos test positive people for emotion, they use violet lasers. Violet lasers are really good for emotional stress.
Well, I feel very lucky that pretty much most of my adult life through yoga, I have never had any injuries. I feel like yoga is a great gift to our whole being. So what happened to me is I jumped from a very high stairs onto the sand, which was uneven. I was following my son, and so we just jumped. And I sustained a complex medial meniscus tear. That's when I got to try out the laser, and within a few weeks, really there was a significant change just from simply using the unwind protocol. And now I have no pain at all, and it was significantly painful that I was really about to get the surgery. And most indigenous systems, such as yoga, have always connected to our energetic body, and also that our energetic body is completely connected to all of the elements and also to all of the cosmos. And so, for instance, our interaction with sunlight is basically what infuses our entire body with light. meaning that all food contains the sunlight. Our skin is drinking the sunlight. Our pineal pituitary is completely regulated by this light. So it's not only that we are light beings, but we actually nourish ourselves through the light.
I received the treatment and it was magic. And I trusted my gut feeling initially. And the price was a lot, I admit. Thousands of dollars on this kind of thing. I've never spent that much money on a device. And yet I knew intuitively right away that it was the real deal. And once I got my laser, everyone that I worked with started receiving the benefits immediately. So there's so much patient data that indicates that this stuff really works.
My current system that I first had, it cost me $50,000. So when I first was introduced to the quantum wave, of course I didn't want it to work. But after about a month of using it, my patients began to get better, faster, and as far as myself, I was calmer. I just stayed on a more even keel all the time. I didn't have highs and lows.
I work with a lot of energetics and emotional traumas, and it just had a different sense about it when I first picked it up and even turned it on. And for my emotional patients, it's been a completely different practice. They just get so much more results and are just more balanced in life.
That was my deciding point, was how it made me feel personally.
So I love, love, love my laser, and I use it every day.
Absolutely recommend the laser to anybody that wants one. Everybody needs one. Everybody needs a couple of them. They're great.
Now, whether you're concerned about the price, whether you're concerned about, will I have time to use this? These are all legitimate concerns, and I found that no matter what, this is the best investment I ever made, and I always make time to use it because it feels so good. You're gonna find those 20-30 minutes in the end of your day to use it, and this is absolutely worth your time and money more than any other technology out there. And believe me, I have used a lot of technologies now. I started investing in all sorts of devices, and this is the #1 technology if you don't have anything to invest in, because it will change your life and impact you better than anything on the market.